What's going on, you guys? It's your boy, the American Motorsports fan, Eric Ringle here, and we are live for the last race before the summer break of Formula One. It is the Belgian Grand Prix. Oh, we're over halfway through the season, but we're getting ready to go into the summer break. I'm sure all the drivers on the grid are absolutely looking forward to this break. Just going to check right now, make sure audio is working correctly. Guys, if you are joining the channel and you guys are new, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. And then also, if you guys can hit that like button for me, just let me know you guys are watching it, and it pushes it out to more Formula One fans that may not necessarily want to watch the coverage by David Croft and Sky Sports. So hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. If you guys want to support the channel, also you guys can donate through Super Chat. Read your Super Chat through the live stream. And then, as always, I got to give thanks to Chris, the gentleman who does the race reactions. He puts together all the race reactions from Formula One fans. So got to give shout outs to him. He does an amazing job and always gives me a shout out on his videos. So thank you very much to him. So we are 12 minutes away from the race starting. If you guys watched qualifying yesterday, it was a wet qualifying session yesterday where we all knew, we had learned early before the weekend even started that Max Verstappen was taking an engine penalty today. So he was taking a 10-place grid penalty. He would have been starting from pole had he not been taking that penalty, but he will be starting from 11th today. But Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari put up an amazing lap yesterday in the rain to start on pole position. Sergio Perez, who as of late has had problems getting into even Q2, let alone Q3, he qualified second on the grid, and he'll be starting on the first row as well, just alongside Charles Leclerc. But, hopefully this isn't a one-off thing for Sergio Perez, and he doesn't have issues, starting the race today. We hope, that Sergio Perez can have have one of those races going into the summer break that, tells us that, he's back. He had one of those stretches of races where just nothing could go right. But now he's back, and maybe reassure Red Bull that he is deserving of that second seat alongside Max Verstappen. You got Lewis Hamilton starting third, Norris and Piastri starting fourth and fifth. I think the rain from yesterday's qualifying did not show what could actually be out of the McLarens, because they seemed like they were nowhere the entire qualifying session, and I just think the rain threw a difference, and people were trying to make a setup that would be able to race in the dry, but if it were to rain during the race, that it would be able to be handled correctly. And I think you kind of saw that kind of caused some issues, as they're on the Sky Sports replay. They're showing some video of somebody looked like one of the Mercedes had some kind of fluid coming out, whether it was hydraulic fluid, oil, couldn't quite tell what that was, as we're sitting here watching this. But yeah, I think the rain was one of those things that we couldn't tell everybody's true pace, and we don't really even know how all the teams really set up their car for the actual race. So because You saw certain teams were having issues. McLaren's, you saw Oscar Piastri take it wide a couple of times during qualifying yesterday. You saw, I think it's a more jumbled up top 10. I mean, you had an Alpine and Ocon make it into Q3 yesterday. You had Albon make it into Q3, showing potentially the true pace of the Alpines, with all the updates that they've brought. Bottas was fighting for a Q3 spot there for a little bit, just couldn't put it all together. But yeah, so this is going to be a very interesting race leading us into the summer break. We've seen times, where the Spa GP can really throw, every team for a loop. We've seen in the past where, cars that were, potentially, pushing for top 10, or they were in the top 10, all of a sudden, reliability issues hit. So this could be a race where, if a lot of teams didn't take new, or engine parts that were within the regulations of their allotment, we could see a lot of reliability issues today. So that's something to look out for today too, as far as, the reliability issues of all the cars on the grid. Are they going to be able to, last them this last race before the summer break? I had to get a quick little sip in there. If you guys are watching this race with me, let me know in the comments section down below where you guys are watching this race. Like I said, if you guys are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like button as well as you guys are watching this. It just takes 2 seconds. Just go down to that little thumbs up button and hit that for me. And if you guys want to support me, you guys can send in super chats. I will read those out over the air. So, and if you guys have ever joined me before, I'm really good about reading everybody's comments out on the air. It's something I enjoy doing because I enjoy watching the races along with you, and just, kind of getting your thoughts throughout the race, like you're getting my thoughts throughout the race when I do these reaction videos. So if you guys can, please, support the channel in any way possible. Hit that super chat, or you guys, there's even a link in the description for my Cash App, so you guys can donate there too as well. And I will read those comments out on air as well. So I'm going to turn up the sound just a little bit, but I want to see if it's coming through the mic, so I'm going to be quiet for just a second. Okay, it comes through a little bit, but it doesn't come through that bad. Okay, that's good. I feel a little bit better. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put a little bit of a poll in the description. So who's going to win the Belgian Grand Prix? Is it going to be Charles Leclerc? Is it going to be Lando Norris? Max Verstappen? Or someone else that we may not have named or that we're not thinking of? Okay, so there's the poll. We started that in the chat, so if you guys are watching, please hit your choice for the poll there. I personally, if I'm going to go with last minute prediction, I'm going to say I just think Max Verstappen has looked fast all weekend long. He seems, it almost feels like that all the other teams are using, really used engines at this point, whereas Max is using a brand new engine to start today. And it's just, he's been literally half a second ahead almost the entire weekend of everybody else. So I feel like Max is just, he's just been stellar all weekend long, and I think coming back from 11th, he'll be able to do it. Now, talking about weather, they're saying there is a 0% chance of rain in today's race. There is always a chance. We've always seen Spa where it's got its own like ecosystem, and we've seen rain at times when it just pops up out of nowhere. So they're saying 0% chance of rain, but I would not rule it out in this race. So let's run down to starting order. We'll run down tire selections too, as tire selections are starting to come up as the tire blankets are starting to come off the cars. So you got Leclerc starting on mediums. The only car, so there's 3 cars that have different tires on. Carlos Sainz is going for the long run. He's going on hards. You got Daniel Ricciardo, who's starting in 13th, going to start on softs. And then Guan Yu Zhou is going to start on hards as well. Everybody else is starting on mediums to start the race today. Running down the grid, you've got Leclerc and Perez on the front row, Hamilton and Norris row 2, Piastri and Russell row 3, Sainz and Alonso row 4, Ocon and Albon row 5, Verstappen and Gasly row 6, Daniel Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas on row 7, Lance Stroll and Nico Hulkenberg row 8, Magnussen and Sargent row 9, and then in row 10 you've got Guan Yu Zhou and Tsunoda, who both have gotten penalties as well. Tsunoda's taking, like, literally, he took a 60-place grid penalty, and so he's starting from the back. And then Guan Yu Zhou got a 3-place grid penalty for blocking yesterday during qualifying, so that's why he's starting 19th. But I think he wasn't far off from where he's at. He may have been 18th, but because Tsunoda's taking so many more penalties in this race, he's, basically slated to start last. Also, if you guys want to know where my timing screen is, or timing screen is from, go to F1 Dash on the internet. Just it's f1dash.com. You get this amazing screen like we've got here. It's such a great timing screen. It absolutely helps out immensely, and so to be able to see all these stats that I'm able to give to you that you don't otherwise get with some other timing screens that are out there. So thank you to F1 Dash for allowing me to use the timing screen. Like I said, it's amazing. It's amazing what he's been able to develop over there at F1 Dash. All right, so we're just about ready to get on the formation lap. This is going to be one of the longer formation laps. All right, and they are away. And the other thing too is I've got my timing screen literally matched up with my feed of ESPN that broadcasts the race. So if my timing screen seems a little bit off to you guys, I'm sorry. If you guys want to try to pause your watch, you can do that and try to get it even with me. All right, so on the formation lap, literally, Leclerc's already halfway through the track, and Yuki's just barely left the grid. Okay, they're lining up on the grid. Okay, sorry, I had a work message I had to take care of there just real quick. All right, here we go. Yuki Tsunoda, last one to line up on the grid. The front of the grid has been sitting there for quite a while now. All right, here we go, boys. Green flag at the back. 5 red lights are on. And we're underway. Man, that was a long hold there. But great start by Charles Leclerc. Hamilton and Perez going wheel to wheel. Everybody gets through Radion with no problem. There we go. Man, what a start by Charles Leclerc. Great job by Charles on the opening lap here. Max Verstappen already up 1 place. Norris lost a couple spots. He lost 3 spots on that start. Man, look at all that dust they're kicking up. Nice job by Max to pass on Alex. Up 2 spots now. Max is already flying. Next up is Alonso for Max. Oh, Hamilton had a look. Hamilton had a look. Oh, Piastri, or is that Norris? Norris went wide, and now Sainz gets around Norris. Or Sainz stays ahead of Norris, excuse me. But now Max is right on his back end as Max has gotten around Alonso. Charles Leclerc doing a good job just keeping the lead right now. Yeah, this pack is extremely close together right now. Albon incident, turn 5, leaving the track and gaining an advantage has been noted by race control. Hamilton may be getting ready to set up Leclerc for a pass here. Lewis Hamilton to the lead. Nice. Let's see if now Lewis can pull away from the Ferrari of Leclerc. Sergio Perez already kind of starting to fall back just a little bit, about a second and a half behind these two. Norris is looking extremely slow today. Oh no, Guan Yu Zhou. Oh, Guan Yu Zhou. Engine's gone. We could see a safety car here potentially unless he gets off track. Let's see if we can tell. Yeah, he's still on the back stretch. Guan Yu Zhou's just moving enough. Looks like Guan Yu Zhou's going again. Yep, they must have reset it because he's now back up to speed. They must have been able to fix whatever the issue was. It looks like he's back up to speed. Yep, he's carried on, but he's a minute and 8 behind already. He's a minute and 8 behind Sargent. He's got to hope for an early safety car here. Okay, so that's no further investigation on Alex for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Man, yeah, this pack is so tight. Like, Alonso's the only one not within a second of the car ahead of him. Piastri, oh, Piastri had a look on Sergio there. Yeah, let's look at. So they're replaying the race start. Let's look at that here. Yeah, Charles Leclerc got a great start, and Hamilton too had a really great start there. Oh, that's why Lando lost all the positions at the start. Lando went really wide into turn one and ended up in that gravel area, that gravel runoff there just by turn one. I do like the fact that they've added gravel there now instead of, it just being a cement runoff like it used to be. So right now in the poll, Max Verstappen leads, but everybody there's some people that are saying Charles Leclerc as well. So that we'll kind of keep an eye out on it as this race continues. How did George Russell not get at least noted for that for going into the runoff? Lewis is just pulled out just over a second lead on Charles, so Charles isn't getting DRS. Excuse me. Hamilton on the radio. Something is moving down by my legs. The Mercedes have overtaken the Ferraris now, I think, as far as in the development race. Hamilton's just pulling out little by little on Charles Leclerc. He's going to pull out about 3/10 on this lap. Oh, Guan Yu Zhou's losing the hydraulics, and he's now in the pit. It looks like he's going to end up retiring now. We keep talking about like the likes of Sergio Perez and Logan Sargent who, could potentially lose their seat, during the summer break. I would say another one that could potentially lose their seat during the summer break is Guan Yu Zhou. He has been absolutely nowhere. He has been he's been bad. Like, his racing has been bad. You think Logan Sargent's has been bad or Sergio Perez's has been bad? Guan Yu Zhou's has been horrible. I don't think they will, but I could see how Sauber would potentially replace him. And, it would only make logical sense that Theo Pourchaire would take his place. Hamilton, again, just pulling out a couple 100ths a lap so far. Max is just stuck in 8th right now behind Norris. Just not able to make any headway there to get past Norris and try to keep pushing his way up front. Hulkenberg is into the pits. Let's see what Hulkenberg's into the pits for. Ooh, he's going hard. Is he going to... Yeah, he was really struggling on those mediums. You have to wonder if the Haas have seen what Carlos Sainz has been able to do on those hard compounded tires and maybe decided to make that switch. Lap 8 of 44. Seems like Hamilton hasn't been gaining as much on the last 2 laps. But you can tell where the difference is in the 2 car developments, whereas Ferrari seems to be good straight line speed, where Mercedes seems to gain in the high speed corners. Excuse me. George Russell going a little wide there. Albon, Ricardo, Sargent all into the pits now. Piastri on the radio. Plan A or B, what do you think? I think A. Excuse me. Magnussen seems to be quick today. He was 2.2 behind Stroll, but he's gained 5/10 just in like half a lap here. He's gaining on Stroll. Man, Alonso is slow. He's dropped 4 seconds behind Verstappen. Starting to create a gap to that top 8. Hamilton's radio. Tires are still okay. The rears are definitely dropping. Wonder if we're going to see any more pit stops here. Looks like Gasly's into the pits. Anybody else? No. Nope. Gasly's the only one in the pits on this go around. Gasly on to hards. So Gasly and Hulkenberg on hards. Everybody else went another set of mediums very early on. Hamilton's starting to pull out some time again on Charles. They're up now to 2.1 seconds. Max Verstappen into the pits. Russell's into the pits as well. Russell around Sonoda there for 12th. Oh, nice pass by Hulkenberg as we got a replay there of that. Not a lot going on in the race so far. Hamilton's being told to box. Piastri's being told to box. Man, oh man, all these guys that just pit. Piastri around Russell. Nice pass by Piastri there to get up into 9th. Leclerc's being told to pit now. So Leclerc will pit and Sainz will go up into the lead. Verstappen around Magnussen now. Up into 11th. Ooh, Piastri was having a look around Perez there. Stroll into the pits now. Let's Perez, Piastri, Russell, and Verstappen all go. Ocon into the pits. Verstappen's got now fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Piastri around Sergio Perez now. Piastri up a place. Piastri up into 6th. The only cars that haven't pit so far: Sainz, Norris, Alonso. Norris and Alonso may be getting ready here to pit soon. If not, they may be going for the long haul. Magnussen, Sonoda also haven't pit yet as well. That was a close one. Yeah, there was plenty of. The fact that that was even a question. You have to. You got to make Max work. Alonso's into the pits now. So average time lost on a pit stop is 18 seconds. So Max is really undercut Lando. Lando's going to lose 4 seconds to Max. Lando Norris radio. Yep, sounds like it. They just told Lando to speed up 100% pace, so it sounds like they're trying to have him have a fast in lap here. Wonder how much longer Carlos Sainz will be able to go since he's on the hard compound. Norris goes another lap. Stroll radio. Straight line speed is a effing joke. I feel like he just cussed there just because. Man, Hulkenberg looks really slow today. I don't know if it's just his setup or. Yellow flags. Oh. There was a yellow flag there for just a split second. Trying to see on the tracker if you could tell who went off, and it looks like sector 15. Lando Norris has just been told to box. Sonoda's into the pits. I wish I could hear Magnuson's radio as far as like what he's feeling right now, because he's running in the 150s on 15 lap old mediums. Oh, Carlos went wide into Stabilo. Huh, weird. Is this Gasly getting back around Ocon? Oh no, this is Gasly on Ocon on Hulkenberg. I'm trying to see what lap times Magnuson's running compared. Man, that top eight has literally broken away. Magnuson's running comparable lap times to the cars behind. Last time by, so Magnuson's the only one who hasn't pit. Magnuson and Sainz are the only two that haven't pit yet. But Magnuson's on mediums. He ran a 154.73. Albon ran a 152.65. Verstappen being told now to chase after Russell and try to make the pass there. Norris radio. Zach Brown's back on the wall this weekend. Norris runs fastest lap on this one. Magnuson's finally into the pits. He's going to drop to the tail end. I wonder... I don't know if Magnuson has another set of hards, maybe. Or no. Yeah, he may go another set of hards here. Magnuson gets out ahead of Tsunoda. He's onto a set of hards now. Yeah, Hulkenberg looks so slow today. Lap 19 of 44. Sainz is still leading, but he hasn't... He's lost about a second in these last two laps to Hamilton. Ooh. through the radio on in Ferrari, it sounds like they may try to go for a one stop here, from going from hards to mediums to the end. So let's see. We've got a lot of voters so far. Right now, the split is between Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. For those of you who are watching and have voted for someone else, who do you guys think that someone else could be to win today's race? Is it a Lewis Hamilton today? So now Bottas is around Hulkenberg. Yeah, Hulkenberg's slow today. But let me know in the comment section down below if you guys voted in a poll for someone else, who you guys think that someone else is going to be. But right now it's a tie between Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. Sainz, Ferrari, box. So Sainz will be pitting now. Now everybody will have pit for the first time now. Wow. The Alpine just passed Alonso. The Aston Martin seems slow. Sainz is now into the pits. New mediums, brand new mediums. Let's see where he comes out at. Okay, so he's going to come out at the tail end of this group. But he's going to be on literally 5 to 10 lap younger tires than everybody else. George Russell finally able to get around Sergio Perez there. The hard compounded tire seems like the tire to be on as Hulkenberg's back into the pits again. And then Hulkenberg back off with 23 laps to go. Hulkenberg back onto a set of mediums. Man, Verstappen, little bit of struggle there. Perez is told to box. New set of hards for Perez. He's going to go to the end now from here. Gets out just ahead of Albon. Ricardo's into the pits. Inside of the front right. Is that the front? Yeah, the front right. The inside front right of Hamilton's tire looks like it's got a little bit of graining going on right now. But he's still faster than Leclerc. He's 2 seconds ahead of him. Piastri's up into third. 2.8 behind Leclerc. Verstappen now up to fifth. Perez saying he's very slow on the straights. Norris is chasing down Max here. Daniel Ricciardo chasing down Sargent here. Ricciardo around Sargent, and now Tsunoda's caught up to him as well. It looks like Sargent was bottoming out still pretty bad. He had a lot of smoke coming off of out of the back end of his car. Right now, Charles Leclerc now leading the poll at 31%. Oh, wow, it's a three-way tie. Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, and Max Verstappen all at 31%. Ooh. Had a little bit of an issue with the timing screen there. I thought Sainz had just passed Norris potentially, but he's only 4.3 back. Sergio Perez now with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Albon into the pits. Ricardo gets out ahead Ricardo undercut Albon, who's now just behind Ricardo. Nice job, Logan. Nice fight there with Yuki. I know that's down for the tail end of the of the order, but like Logan putting up a fight here against Yuki. Hamilton's saying tires are. I swear to God, we're seeing a new Hamilton because he's talking about how the tires are good. We never heard these kind of things out of him before. Sonoda, Sargent pits, so Sonoda now around Sargent. "19 laps left. Let me run to the restroom here real quick." You did say the right name. Look at who's here. Oh, there we go.
Verstappen, boys.
Yep, Verstappen's in the race. He's in 4th place. Hamilton being told to box. What were you going to say?
So, who is best character, Daddy?
Which one?
Best.
Oh, that's Sargent.
So, Sargent is out of the race.
No, he's not out of the race. He's still going. Oh, you're talking about the guy down here. That's Guan Yu Zhou. Zhou. Just say Zhou.
So,
Yeah.
is he into the pits?
He's out of the race.
Is
He is out. He had an issue with his car, and so he's out.
he in the pits? I see blood pit.
Yep.
He's still in the pit.
Yeah, he's not leaving the pits anytime soon.
He's not leaving the pits anytime soon.
No.
Piastri.
Piastri. Is that a burp?
Yeah. So, guys, I burped. Oh, I have to get my costumes.
Your what?
Oh, I have to get my cape and my glasses first.
Okay.
But I'll get back in.
Okay, well then hurry up. He's got to get his costume, so hold on just a moment. You look like D from
Yeah.
PBS Kids.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. All right. Here, move your legs out. There we go. Perfect. Oscar Piastri's in the lead.
Wow. Piastri, you can do this. Is it a her?
No, it's a he. It's a he. Thank you, Bugs. Yes, wishing everyone a nice new week. Thank you very much, Bugs. I'm hoping for a nice new week with you as well. You forgot to close the door, silly.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I have to close the door, guys. Sorry, I forgot to close the door.
There you go.
I'll be quick anytime soon.
Last lap was purple. They just told Piastri. It goes without saying, but clean air is king.
So I'm back.
I'm back.
Just had to close the door really quick.
There we go.
So, Russell's almost into the lead.
Clickbait runaway. What? Guess what? You've been put in the timeout there, pal. I don't know who you are coming in here. I don't know who you are, Warren Wills. But you don't come into my chat and start spamming clickbait. You can sit in timeout for a little bit for that.
What is Pastry going to time out?
No, PS not going in timeout. I'm talking about something completely different.
Is it Owen Wills?
Yeah, that guy
Yeah.
decided to come into the comments and decided.
Wow, Signs is into. Wow. Yeah.
Signs just pit. He's down to 8th. Gasly's in the pits. Verstappen pit.
So, that's Hulkenberg.
Yeah, there's Hulkenberg.
Wow, Gasly's into the pits.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, Gasly's into the pits right now. Oh, just like the other players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not, Gasly's not giving up, so.
So, I don't know who you are. So, I'm not going to chat to you. So, if I don't know who you are, I'll not chat to you.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's okay. It's okay.
I just saying what you were saying
Yeah.
to the guy that was going to time out.
Oh, no, I know.
So, I got to get on Wells into timeout for not chatting to us. So, I have to put my glasses on my head. Yeah. Because that's how it always with me every time. I'll put these on the table so I can see even better.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna let you out here in just a minute, okay?
When you're ready to finish the race.
Well, we're gonna get close to the finish, and then you'll come in and help me end the stream, okay?
Okay.
So right now,
Mama. I got my costumes on right here. Piastri is into the lead. And I was gonna get this guy on Will's into timeout.
there was a guy in the comments that needed to go into timeout, wasn't there?
Yeah, It started with a W. Willen Wills.
Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter what his name is. He's in timeout.
Do I know what he is? You do not know what his name is?
I know. I just know you can read.
Yeah, because I can see a pretty bright skin.
Yeah, Piastri's now into the pits.
Oh, yeah.
See, he's into the pits.
Well, Gasly isn't now. Gasly isn't.
Yeah, Gasly got out of the pits.
He got out of... Wow. Yay, Russell, I knew you could get in the lead.
He's in the lead for a little while longer, but I think he's got a pit too.
Well, Ocon is into the pit.
Ocon is into the pits.
And Piastri is still in the pits. Well, so this guy's going to be in timeout for a long time.
Yeah.
In 100 days.
Yep. Okay. Daddy's getting warm, so why don't you step out for a little bit, go get some water, and then I'll have you come in and help Daddy with the stream. There we go. I don't know. I think Piastri's in the chase for this, Jacob. If I truly think about it right now, Piastri's put himself in a good position with 12 laps to go. He's on 6-lap fresher hards than Leclerc and 5-lap fresher hards than Hamilton. He just set 2 purple sectors in both Sector 2 and Sector 3 just after that pit stop. Norris on the radio. Lando, these tires are robust, happy to push on them. So these tires will get them to the end. This has been a really quiet race so far today. Yeah, okay, now I understood what Jacob said. He said I was talking about losing 2 seconds on the stop because he overshot the pit box. I said McLaren's been doing that a lot here recently. They did that with Norris not too long ago. I remember Norris almost overshooting his pits as well, and it was at Silverstone. It was at Silverstone when he overshot his pits. Yeah, you can tell Max has been told to push now because he's just now opened up over a second lead on Lando Norris. Just grabbing another bottle of water here real quick. I told you. Piastri's gained now. Now you're right, Jacob. Had he not lost time, had he not overshot his pits, Piastri would actually be ahead of Leclerc right now. Piastri's 1.2 behind Leclerc. Ten laps to go. Russell hasn't pit yet. He last stopped on on lap 10. Russell's 'I was just wondering the same thing, Jacob, with where he's at right now. 23 lap old tires. He's 5 seconds ahead of Hamilton, and it's not like he's losing time hand over fist to him. I wonder if Russell's going to try to go to the end with 10 laps to go. I just don't know how worn those tires are right now. Piastri's flying right now. Piastri should be able to get around Leclerc on this first DRS straight coming up here soon. No, Piastri trying to go around the outside, but Leclerc doing nice to defend and hold him off there. Great job by Leclerc to defend that position against Piastri. Great defense there. Verstappen on the radio. 10 laps to go. 10 of your finest, mate. Come on, from Christian Horner. Yeah, Hamilton's now starting to catch Russell. Man, 5 laps within striking distance. I mean, then that would leave you only 5 laps to go. I think if you've let Russell go this long, you're probably letting him go to the end. Here we go. Oscar's got DRS on Charles. Goes to the outside. What a pass by Piastri ahead of Charles. Nice pass by Piastri. Nice job. What a pass. This is my thought so far. Ferrari's good on high fuel runs. The McLarens and the Red Bulls are really good on low fuel. Because you notice there that McLaren looks so much faster than Charles. And we're, 9 laps from the end. That tells me that they're really feeling good about about low fuel runs. Guys, if you are new to the channel, you guys can support us 3 ways. Hit that like button for me, as well as subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And then also, if you guys want to support the channel, you guys can also send in a super chat. I'll read that over the air. Those are the different ways you guys can support the channel. Jacob's already the first one that's been that is super chatted on my channel before. As we're now 8 laps from the end. Hamilton is chasing down Russell. Piastri's 5 seconds behind Hamilton, but I'm sure he's coming now. Russell's running a second slower than Hamilton. His hard compounded tires don't look nearly as bad as Hamilton's did earlier. Ricciardo's now up into the points, into 10th. This is interesting. Can Russell go to the end and make these tires last long enough? Hamilton's now 2.8 behind Russell. Piastri's not gaining any time on Hamilton, though. I wonder how many people are going to start having issues here at the very end trying to make a one-stop work. Ocon around. Stroll is extremely slow. Did Stroll get... Because my timing screen compared to... Or does Ocon make... Yeah, it's saying Ocon's behind Stroll by almost 2 seconds. Sainz has got DRS on Perez now. He may not get him going into turn one, but he may get him going on the straight here soon. Here comes Sainz. Goes to the outside of Perez. Nice move by Sainz up into 7th. Great move by Sainz there. Much fresher tires than Perez. 8-lap fresher hards. Or excuse me, 7-lap fresher. I'm gonna refresh the timing screen. I think we're having issues with the timing screen here. So hold on. I'm just gonna refresh it real quick. .2 from Hamilton to Russell with 4 laps to go. Piastri's now coming, though. He's down to 4.7 with 4 laps to go. There we go. Let's see. Here we go. Does Russell let Hamilton by? Or is he going to fight this? Please tell me he fights this at least a little bit. Make sure you give each other plenty of space. Mercedes just told that to Hamilton. Hamilton's about 700ths back. I don't think he's going to be able to make it on this one. Very nicely put, Brundle. Jesus, 30 laps on this hard tire. Ooh, Ocon's gotten around Ricciardo for 10th. Ooh, Hamilton much closer coming out of the bus stop chicane there. Piastri now 2.5 seconds behind. Hamilton's much closer this time. No, I thought better of it going into that corner with 3 laps to go. Yeah, I don't want to do anything too silly because then you bring Piastri into this fight. Let's see, can Russell hold him off here again going into the bus stop? No. Piastri's now 1.8 back. Oh, God, this is going to turn into a battle with a lap to go. Yeah, I agree. Russell, driver of the day. Russell gets a good run out of turn 1 and almost 7/10 ahead of Hamilton. I don't think Perez into the pits. He's gonna try to take fastest lap off of Norris. Piastri's 1.3 behind. He's going to get into DRS here, I bet. This is going to make this exciting. Let's see. Can he do it? Getting ready to head into the bus stop chicane and getting on to the final lap. Piastri's almost within a second of Hamilton now. Man, Russell gets great traction out of that last corner. Final lap of the race and Piastri's joining this fight. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. This is... Piastri's now joined this fight. Here we go. Russell has driven the most amazing race. Wow, what a race. Come on, George, hold on to this. 33 lap old hard tires. One stop in this race. Here we go, getting ready to head into the bus stop. As long as Russell doesn't go wide, Russell is going to do this. What a race for George! Goes 34 laps. One stop on those hards, and Russell's going to win. What a race by George. 1-2 for Mercedes. Wow! 34 laps on that hard compounded tire. What a race by George. What a job well done by George. What a drive by, I agree. What a drive by Russell. Wow! What a race by George. That was badass. That was so good. Look at his brakes just smoking. Yep, Perez got fastest lap at the very end, stole the point away from Norris. Nice job by George. Great job by George. That's a fantastic race there from him. That is so good, guys. Oh, what an ending to that race. I mean, that's the kind of ending I was getting ready to say. Yeah, Robert Travis, well done to Russell. Gutted that Norris lost fastest lap and a win. Yeah, Norris, I think just from the start of the race, and we saw it at the start of the race, Norris didn't get a good start at all and just seemed slow all day long. Like, it just didn't seem like he was able to make any headway against Max. Even when he was making pit stops later and being put on a little bit more fresher, on a fresher tire, it just, the thing is that you have to also remember that Verstappen's got a brand new power unit in his car, took a 10-place grid penalty, and Norris is probably running an engine that's maybe a couple laps old. So, I mean, that could very well be the case as well. But what a drive from Russell. Goes 34 laps to the end on one stop and is able to basically take the victory away from Hamilton there. Hamilton was slated to win once Hamilton got out into the lead. Right? He seems really pumped about this one. I think it's just because, making the strategy call like he did was very gutsy to try to go 34 laps to the end on a track that's been resurfaced in areas that a lot of the racers were saying was being a little bit harsher on their tires than, in years past. And so I don't think a lot of people, let alone me or anybody else, thought somebody could go 34 laps to the end on hard compounded tires. I know Hamilton's got to be a little gutted. He had a chance to win that race and just... Listen to him. He is excited on that radio. That's pretty cool. Toto, what? Is it just me? 34... Take some balls. Yeah, it does, Robert. Robert, it took a lot of balls to go 34 laps on those hards. Because you gotta think about it, that we saw people pitting on lap 10 at the very beginning on mediums. Then they were pitting 11 laps later for a set of off of the hards to go back to the mediums. Or some people were going back to another set of hards. Like 34 laps. And his tires, I don't know if you saw the replay or it was with about 6 or 7 laps to go. They were showing a replay of, Gunther is doing the interviews. But if you saw the replay, his hard compounded tires looked immaculate. Oscar's probably like, what the hell did he just say? Gunther is sometimes hard to understand. I love the guy, but it's hard to sometimes understand what he's saying. So Alpine with a point today. I'm just looking down. We'll run through the top 10 here real quick. Russell in first, Hamilton second, Piastri third. That's your podium right there. Then you have Charles Leclerc, who was able to hold off Max Verstappen and Lando Norris for fourth. You got Verstappen in fifth, Norris sixth, Sainz seventh, Perez eighth, Alonso with a couple points today in ninth, and then Esteban Ocon in 10th place. Oscar's finding some form now. And I've heard a lot of people talking about this. I think Oscar's second season in Formula One, he has shown strides above where I think he was at last season. And I think even Oscar will say that in the grand scheme of things. Oscar will say that, he was there at points last season in 2023, but in 2024, I think he's just a different kind of racer, Robert. If I'm being totally honest, I think he's showing that he's just being a different kind of racer this season. Let's see. So that was your top 10. You had Ricciardo 11th, Stroll 12th, Albon 13th, Magnussen 14th, Gasly 15th, Bottas 16th, Tsunoda 17th, 18th Sargent, 19th Hulkenberg, and then 20th having to retire from the race early on, Guan Yu Zhou with hydraulic issues. He ended up having to retire. That's a pretty good bet to take, Robert. I would agree with that. I think I definitely think he's a future Formula One champion. I think. Especially if he's not, because I could see him moving on from McLaren or staying at McLaren and Lando Norris moving away from McLaren. And that'd be a really good fight between Norris and McLaren, or Norris and Piastri. How does Hamilton get driver of the day? Like, I get it that everybody thought that Hamilton was going to win that race, but man, Russell deserved driver of the day. Yeah, that is true that McLaren has developed the car around Lando, but money will talk quite significantly when it comes to Red Bull. Red Bull, I think, really wants Lando there, and if Max, goes to Mercedes or whatever, Red Bull's going to be looking for a driver of the talents, that are similar to Verstappen to replace him, and Lando Norris could be that guy. And I will say this, it's really nice to see that, like, you had the McLarens dominating last week. Now you got the Mercedes dominating this week. Like, it's really good to see That's another good point Jacob brings up. I think it depends on who gets it right when it comes to when the new regs come out in 2026. Lando and Norris will never be are you talking about Verstappen and Norris? No, they'll never be teammates, but I could see a point where Verstappen maybe moves on to Mercedes, and Norris moves over to Red Bull, and you get that kind of fight there. I could see that happening. Yeah, Verstappen. Yeah, oops, sorry. Yes, Verstappen and Norris. Yeah, I would totally agree. I think Lando and Verstappen would never be teammates so much, but I think that if Verstappen makes the move over to Mercedes, at the beginning of the new regulations, you could see that Red Bull would shell out the money to bring Norris into Red Bull. And I think Norris would be silly not to potentially at least think about making that move, if not making the move in general. With what we've been able to see from Red Bull over the last few seasons. Let's see. What else? Anybody else got any comments? Robert and Jacob, thank you guys very much for the comments so far. Going to take this a little bit longer since we're going into the summer break. If you guys want to drop a like on the video, or you guys can even drop a super chat and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Let's see where we're at subscriber-wise while we're sitting here. As they're in the cool down room right now, we're at 688 subscriber count right now. Very quiet cool down room right now. Extremely quiet. They're just watching back the highlights right now. That's when they were showing the video of Hamilton going around Leclerc. Let's do